everyone.
Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Connor Giblin. He's head coach of Hofstra Pride men's basketball, Joe Mihalich. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Great to be with you, as always.
Yeah, and great to be with you too, of course. Great win last week here at the MAC against Stony Brook. 38-point victory. I'm sure nobody was expecting it, but you're of course going to take that kind of win.
Starting with me, nobody was expecting it. But I think it was, first of all, I think the residue of playing tough teams like St. Bonaventure, Kentucky, those kinds of teams that get you ready to, to play. We learned so much from Kentucky. We learned how to practice. We learned how to play. We learned a lot about ourselves, so that was good. But, it also was a game where we came out early and made some shots. They came out early and missed a bunch, and from there it kind of snowballed, and we'll take it. We will take it. There's only one bad thing about that one, and that's they'll be showing that tape next year when we're getting ready to play them next year. But that's a positive problem. It's a positive problem.
Stony Brook missed 13 of their first 15 shots. Was that team just not shooting the ball well, or was your defense creating some plays?
Well, I hope it was our defense. I hope it was what we were doing defensively. I hope it was whether it was the pace we were creating or how we played. I hope so. But at the end of the day, it was what it was. They missed a bunch and we made a bunch.
Justin Wright for him, of course, 22 points to lead the team. Rokas Gustese, another double-double. One player that really stood out to me was Ty Greer, especially because of the way that he played against Kentucky. What does it say about him to bounce back from that game against the Wildcats and have a good performance against Stony Brook?
Yeah, he had 14 and 12. I was happy for him. He had a couple tip-ins that were really big. We're on him all the time, starting with me, and maybe sometimes too much, but we're on him all the time to play with a high energy, mentally and physically, just to be that energy guy. When he does play with some energy, I think he can be very productive. When he's not playing with that energy, just like anybody else, he just kind of blends in. He becomes just a guy. So, we're on him, and I'm really happy for him and proud of him, and hopefully he can build on it.
At the same time, we saw just how much Justin Wright Foreman can create his own shot and make some nifty plays. What kind of growth have you seen from him from his freshman campaign to his sophomore year?
It's been amazing. He was in practice, in the month of October and early November. There were times he was literally unstoppable. Got it carried over to the games. I think he's really making some progress there too. He didn't get off to a good start, putting the ball through the hoop. Let's face it, scorers need to put the ball in the hoop to feel good about themselves. But now he's starting to do that, and we're hoping he can just build on that as well.
All right, you got one more game coming up in the non-conference slate. It's against Siena, a team that beat you up in their place last season. Of course, the big headline is you play Jimmy Patsis, whom you have a lot of history with in the MAC. What's it like playing up against that guy, despite a different rivalry setting compared to your former days with Niagara?
Well, it's great. I mean, I love Jimmy Patsis. He's great for our game. He's passionate. He's personable. He's emotional, and in a good way. I mean, I love him. He does a fabulous job. My goodness gracious. He does a fabulous job. They're not off to the start that they probably thought they were. I think they've had some injuries, but they're a team that can win their league. They have 4,000-point scorers. A real exciting team. We have good games.
Siena, of course, 4-7, as you said before, not to the start that they wanted. Haven't won a game on the road yet this season, but they do have 5 players with double scores. Well, I got to bring up the stats for the audience here, but
just check.
Looking at that team, I think you're more worried about what they can do than what they haven't done this year.
I guess that's what I was saying earlier, and there's reasons for it. I mean, they've played a very good schedule. They had a little bit of the injury bug, and at our level, when you just have 1 or 2 guys get hurt, I mean, it's, we just played Kentucky. When they had 1 or 2 guys get hurt, they put another first-round draft choice in. We have 1 or 2 guys get hurt. We're putting the freshman in who probably hasn't played much. So, and that's hurt them. But, we don't look at, we know what they can be, and we look at the best thing that they're going to put out on the floor, and that should motivate us enough.
12 more days until the conference opener against Delaware. Is there anything that you haven't seen from your team yet in the non-conference slate that maybe you want to see them work on in this last game against Siena?
Yeah, that's a great question. You sharpen your teeth for conference play with your non-conference schedule. You try to play all kinds of different teams and see all kinds of different things, and to do just what you're talking about there, get ready for conference play. I don't know that there's something we haven't seen we've seen a lot of different styles. We've seen a lot of different levels. We've seen good players. We've seen big teams, fast teams, quick teams. So I don't know if there's anything we haven't seen. Hopefully, this non-conference schedule's got us ready for the conference.
Specifically, this game against the Saints, what's the game plan for victory?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. It's we got 3 days to get ready for them here. We had exams. We got on the road a little bit recruited. Coach Farrelly's been working on that, so I know we're going to be ready for them. Their personnel is very good. They have a point guard named Wright he's a one-man fast break, and they have 2 or 3 guys who can get 30 points. So they're a dangerous team in that regard. So, the way we defend is going to be key. Trying to keep them in front of us is really important.
Head coach of Hofstra Pride men's basketball, Joe Mihalich. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
And this has been the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. Thanks for tuning in.